All right. Well,
I'm going to need that.
That's okay, James. Can we just move on to your personal submission? And I mean, I think some of the issues are across, similar.
Yeah. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. I mean, I kind of took the Extinction Rebellion one of the central and sort of added my own little pieces to that, as will be clear to any of you who have read them. I think the key points I would stress in terms of the personal one is, first off, I'd actually like to back what Ashley Campbell has said in terms of her submission earlier about the state of some of the roads in the east, particularly the concerns noted around Pages Road. I've certainly cycled there with the kids, and it's actually, frankly, really scary in places. In terms of this, so this is the cycling map. Now, the area, I'm trying to think of which way you are seeing this. I'm assuming that the areas to the west, you will see.
Can we reduce Yanni in size, please? I'm not going to look behind me. It's not a pantomime.
Yeah, now keep still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm assuming that the areas to the west are your right, and the areas to the left are to your left are the east.
No, other way around.
It's the other way around.
It's the other way around for you? Okay, right, Katapai. So you can plainly see where the network serves and where the network doesn't serve when you look at this map. Now, this is only of the cycle ways, not the cycle lanes. And of course, you can see on this the proposed cycleway, which goes following the Otakaro or the Avon River through some of the eastern suburbs, which is, as you would all know, a recreational route, not a commuting route. A recreational route, not a commuting route. So it will be very, very, very lovely to cycle along when it finally gets built. But to be perfectly honest, it already exists in a series of cycling along the top of stop banks in the red zone. That's the little wavy line which heads out to New Brighton. That kind of already exists. What isn't served are commuting routes in the eastern suburbs, as you can plainly see from the cycleway map. There's a giant big gap in the eastern suburbs, which I think is very interesting, because a lot of people who are affluent cycle recreational. A lot of people on low incomes cycle because it's a cheap and affordable means of transport. What is very important is that it also be a safe and affordable means of transport. And at the moment, it's not for people in the eastern suburbs because they are not adequately served by the cycleways in this city. My suggestion, now I understand that this is, an annual plan meeting, so you probably aren't going to be able to knock this up in time for the annual plan to be revised. But, you take the opportunity when you have the ear of city councillors to say it, is that instead the cycling route, which is currently a lane heading along Pages Road through to New Brighton, be converted into a protected cycle lane or a separated cycle lane or raised a footpath, that sort of thing. In the long term, obviously that isn't something which you can chuck into the annual plan because that's quite a big project.
But look, thank you for raising it, because I mean, it is an issue that's vexed us all. And it's not just the Pages Road side, it's also the glaring omission of parklands in those areas around there. Sarah?
Thanks so much for that. And agree around the commuting route out there. There is a plan for a bit of that to be down Wainoni Road. In the meantime, there's currently separated cycleways on QE2 Drive and Anzac Drive that aren't part of the network but are higher standard than lanes, but they're in really bad condition. Do you think we should be making sure that there's more wayfinding, more, actually maintaining those better and publicising them so that people know about them?
That's important, but also yes, that's important, but also the infrastructure needs to be where people will actually use it in a day-to-day sense.
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm sure the QE2 and the Anzac Drive stuff are useful for a small group of people, but in terms of a transport corridor, they are not an adequate transport corridor.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Well, no, I'm so sorry. We've come to the end. Look, thank you very much for your time and for the effort that you've gone to make the 2 submissions, James. And thank you very much for presenting today.
Okay, Nakamihi.
Thank you. All right, team. That's us done for the